It's time for Inside the Patch with your Las Vegas Raiders. Here's Gnarley Charley.
Welcome to Inside the Patch, ESPN 1430, your Valley local sports leader. It's me, Gnarley Charley, along with Brian No, who is a know-it-all in a good way.
You know what I just noticed, Gnarley? We've known each other for a long time. We have very similar noses. Very similar.
Yeah. Maybe we're related somewhere down the line. You know?
Could be. Yeah.
Part of the, and the word no is in your name.
It's a nice transition from no to noses.
Right. See, I like that. It kind of worked out. Okay, I got to be honest with you about the Raiders. I have heard so many things. I've heard Jim Harbaugh's the new coach. I've heard, I don't even know if I want him. It reminds me of Cotton Dockers. That's all I think of.
I think you should want him.
Yeah,
listen, full disclosure, I freaking hate Michigan. I grew up in South Bend, diehard Notre Dame football fan, and the city is crawling, believe it or not, with a lot of Michigan fans. So heaven forbid Notre Dame loses to Michigan. It was the worst for a full year. So I hate Michigan, but I love Harbaugh. He's just funny to me. He's quirky and weird and goofy, but he's had a lot of success in the NFL, not just college football. So what he did with the Niners, and what was it, 3 straight NFC title game appearances, made it to the Super Bowl. Depending on how you viewed the little pushy shovey on Michael Crabtree in the end zone, like maybe they should have gotten a call. They were on the doorstep of beating the Ravens. So, I think as a Raiders fan, you should absolutely want Jim Harbaugh.
Well, so he was the Raiders quarterback coach his first year out of pros. So he became the Raiders quarterback coach, kind of introduced him to coaching. I got my hair cut next to him once in Vegas. And you know how funny that is because, come full circle, we're back in Vegas. And I ended up talking to him for like 20 minutes, but we're not best friends by any means.
I don't know. I think that does make you best friends.
I think so. Once we get cut hair together.
There's a rule, whether it's written or unwritten, I'm not sure about that. But if you have a 20-minute conversation while getting your hair cut, I think that means best friend status right there. Because think about this. You basically gave the Heisman pose, the stiff arm, to the barbers cutting your hair. And you're like, we don't want to talk to you. We want to talk to each other. So you guys cut our hair and mind your business. I think that's something right there.
So it's right under breaking bread, cutting hair. You might be onto something. All right.
Yeah.
Well, then I think as a Raider fan, Jim Harbaugh, is he even available? Does that make Antonio Pierce mad? Is it going to, if the media is just all Harbaugh all the time, or is that just part of the process?
It's just part of it, man. There's no chance that the Raiders would say there are no candidates aside from Antonio Pierce. He's our one candidate. There's nobody else on the list. That's just not realistic.
Right. Okay. Well, I heard that he was going to show him if Michigan doesn't say yes by Christmas, the Raiders have a contract. They want to show him. Like, look, we're serious. I'm like, wow. I don't know the legalities on that. But,
it's interesting with Harbaugh and everything that's gone on with Michigan. With this week, there are like recruiting violations. That's resurfacing from a while ago. All the sign stealing stuff. It just seems like it's Pete Carroll-esque. You know what I mean? When Pete was at USC and we got these violations and now we have sanctions. I don't know if that's where it's headed with Michigan, but it seems like it's getting a little warm there where Harbaugh might want to go elsewhere. It could happen that way.
And it's not really so much the money for him because he's loaded forever, But I'm sure he'll take, some more millions too.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's just a wild card, I don't know what he's going to do. I could see him going straight to the NFL. I could see him shrugging his shoulders and say, bring it on, NCAA. What are you going to do?
Right.
And call their bluff? Who knows what he's going to end up doing?
Right. So, it's in the conversation right now. You know?
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely it is. And look, man, there are a handful of teams that would be interested in Harbaugh. And like, to set the whole record straight, when he was with the 49ers, it wasn't the best situation. He butted heads with the GM, Trent Baalke, and there were conversations about him wearing the locker room out and, that sort of thing. So it wasn't perfect, but you can't argue with that success, man. They won a lot of games. They went deep into the playoffs consistently. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for that in silver and black land. You're not looking for peace, harmony, tranquility. Like it's the NFL, man. There are going to be some bumps along the way. That's just how it goes.
And we might be able to get, let's say Harbaugh is our guy, that might attract a more veteranish quarterback that we might need,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like that's the main piece for the Raiders right now is we need a quarterback,
I think they're in a position where you might pull a Carolina Panthers, but just for a better quarterback, right? Like Carolina got super aggressive. They moved up from number 8, I believe, to number 1.
Yeah.
Threw a bunch of draft picks the Bears' way, including what's probably going to be the number 1 overall pick in next year's draft.
Right.
They went bold and got Bryce Young, and it's not a done deal yet, but he's not off to a great start.
Right.
Maybe the Raiders, I don't think you could move up to number 1 because Caleb Williams, Drake May, both highly touted. The price tag's going to be even richer. So I don't think that's realistic, but maybe the Raiders move up and they get one of the other guys where Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix Jr., I don't know, someone like that. That's where I think the Raiders need to go. It's not you can't be in the same division as Mahomes and Herbert and even Russell Wilson with some journeyman veteran. You got to go young. You got to maybe move up aggressively in the draft and target one of these young guys and hope to hit that way.
Yeah, and the thing is, it is a draft. It is luck. I mean, there's 4 of those guys might be horrible or Hall of Famers. You don't know. You never know.
I know, and that's where it's super uncomfortable, where you don't want to trade a boatload of stuff to have a chance at a young quarterback being that guy. But look, man, that's what the Chiefs did. Granted, they didn't move up to number 1 or number 2, but they went from 27th to number 10. And they gave up a little bit to move up that high to get Mahomes. And look how that's turned out. So
and it's a no-brainer now. Now you're like, easy.
Yep.
But, well, speaking of Mahomes, they are 10-point favorites over the Raiders on Christmas morning.
Yeah. How about that? Merry Christmas, everybody. Oh, the Raiders are on. And Mahomes throws a touchdown pass. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, I should have been better this year. Santa brought me coal.
Our season could be over by 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Could be. Yeah. Well, is that Christmas Day? That's on Christmas Day, huh? Yeah.
So that's the first game of the triple header, Christmas Day.
10 o'clock. Yeah. Bright and early. You're in your pajamas, trying your new radio out that you got for Christmas, putting batteries in your car, and watching the Raiders beat the Chiefs.
Hey, that would be an awesome Christmas Day gift for Raiders fans.
I mean, even if the Raiders beat the Chiefs, we still got to sweep. We got to win out. We got the Colts. We have the Broncos. All having a chance still.
Yeah. There's too much traffic. There's too much traffic ahead of the Raiders. Too many teams.
Yeah. And nobody lost like they should have. Like, all the AFC teams just kept winning. I'm like, man.
Yeah, it's crazy, too, because some of them had a decent chance to lose. I think about the Bengals when they were playing the Vikings, right? Last Saturday, it looked like the Vikings had it, and they didn't.
And scened. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what are your predictions for the last 3 games of the season? Who's going to be the surprise team? Who's going to be the
just like NFL collectively?
Yeah, collectively.
Wow, that's a good question. Who's going to fall and who's going to
Someone's going to be there that we don't have on our radar.
Yeah. I think it's tough in the NFC because it really does look like Niners above everybody right now. And I think still Cowboys, Eagles. Eagles have looked bad the last 3 games.
Yeah.
Cowboys got smacked last week. But who in the NFC other than those 3 do you see making a deep run? Do you see Tampa? Right. Do you see the Saints? Do you see the Rams? Like, it's hard to see someone else making a deep playoff run.
Well, even like the Raiders, it's like we're a different team every week, you know? Couldn't put together a point.
What do you think about the AFC?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Allen, he's a Hall of Famer some weeks and a no-show.
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
I look at the Ravens. The Ravens right now are the 1 seed. They're going to be a tough team. That defense is really good. The thing with Lamar, though, Lamar has wet himself numerous times in the playoffs. It's just a team I can't trust. But who do you love? Do you love the Chiefs right now? Do you love the Bengals? Do you love the Dolphins? Who do you love?
Lamar made some plays the other night. I was like, oh, that play's over. And no, it's not. And just like, how long can he keep doing that? Yeah. I mean, it doesn't seem like you can plan for that, but also you can't play like that forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's special at what he does. Like you said, against Jacksonville, they had the little clock on. And it's like, this guy bought 8 seconds. He bought 10 seconds to just try to find a receiver to throw to. It's insane. There's nothing you can do about that. But some of these big playoff games, he'll make a costly decision that's terrible or throw an interception or
right.
Hey man, until he passes that test, I got to see it to believe it.
That's true. That is so true. Well, the Raiders still playing for our coaching life, Antonio Pierce. I do think if he wins out, I think they'll give him the job. I think that.
So what would that put his record at if he wins out?
Well, I mean, just him?
Yeah.
He's won 3 games. So
and they've dropped how many so far?
They lost 3.
So he's 3-3 right now?
Or 3-2. Could be 3-2.
Yeah, that seems like a little more than, I don't know what it is, but somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he came out of the box 1-2, then we lost 2. And then we won a huge one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, 3-2. Yeah, that's the question. Would 5-3 get him the gig?
I don't know. I
mean, if he wins 2 of the next 3, if you could make the Chiefs one of those, and let's say week 18, let's have a great final impression, last game of the season, you know, right? Maybe got a chance.
I think beating the Chiefs would be hard to not hire him. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Trying to be positive.
Listen, the truth is this. It's like dating, okay? The Raiders, as it looks right now, have a legitimate candidate with Antonio Pierce.
Right.
But if someone sexier is available, they're going with that guy.
Yeah, you're right. Well, but it is a different attitude, it seems like. I don't know if you buy into that the Raiders fans are different than the other fans, because the players seem to think that the ownership cares more about the ex-players and the fans more than other franchises. I don't know. I grew up around it. That's what I've been told.
Yeah, they definitely have like the family vibe going on. They definitely have a family atmosphere. They definitely roll out the red carpet for former Raiders. I think that's true, but how it compares to other franchises, I really don't know. I would just be guessing.
Well, and everything's changed. There's no loyalty anymore because the league set up that way. It's, it is what it is. You're not going to have a player. All right. There we go. All right, I'm good.
I just wanted to sit that one out. You know, like sometimes I'll help you out, right? Where the coughing thing comes on and I'll just jump in and say whatever. That time I thought I'd just sit it out,
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah. I thought that was a little entertaining thing there.
I am excited because coming up in our next segment, I have a guy named Certified Trouble. He's a rapper who wrote a song called Sanger Banger. He wrote a song about the Raiders. So we got that going for it. So anyway, Brian, I don't mean to cut it short, but I think we're going to go. And go Raiders, beat the Chiefs. Are we good?
Yeah, man. It's good hanging with you as always. Go Raiders. I wouldn't say take them on the money line. I would not say that. But I hope it's a good game on Christmas. And I hope Sanger Banger is exactly that. I hope it is a banger for the ages, man.
See, there it is right there. Thank you, Brian. No, love you, man. Merry Christmas. We'll see you on the flip side. All right?
Same to you, Gnarls. Merry Christmas, man.
We'll be back with more Inside the Patch on 1430 ESPN, your official home of the Las Vegas